Hey, come talk to me when you get to double digits. But check out the scenarios here. Broncos on an 11-game roll coming in. Here are the clinching scenarios. Huge game in Denver. Let's get there. The Jags playing well, trying to get something going. Last seconds of the first quarter. There's no score in this game at this point, Herman. Trevor Lawrence.
This is what you anticipated, a tight game, no score. Then all of a sudden, this started happening a little bit more than I anticipated.
Parker Washington had himself a really nice game. So the Jags strike first up 7-0. Bo Nix trying to get something back. And he's going for his man Courtney Sutton. Just throws up a moon ball. And
it's answered in the back of the end zone for 7, David.
Nicely placed.
7-7.
Okay, Jags now down 10-7. And Lawrence goes back to work from his own, from the Broncos 3. Brent Strange, the tight end. Nice catch, back shoulder.
Catch, back shoulder fade. That's a pretty good throw there.
The Jags up 7 at halftime. Nix to R.J. Harvey. This guy's a good back, and he has a nose for the end zone. Watch this effort. Harvey got to extend.
Did he get there?
He did.
That's touchdown.
38-yard touchdown for Harvey. Broncos tie it at 17. Jags score, and then they get the ball back. Lawrence swing pass to Travis Etienne, breaks a tackle, and he's in. Wow. The Jags go on to win it by 14. Here's Lindsey Theory with Parker Washington.
Parker, a career day for you. What are you seeing from Trevor Lawrence?
Man, he's a ultimate leader. Works super hard. I mean, he just inspires us to keep going. Like through adversity, through anything, like he just kept going. We keep going as an offense, and we're excited to just keep this rolling.
First-year coach Liam Cohen, what has you guys peaking at the right time with him?
I mean, I would just say it's just the edge that we talk about day in, day out. Just that intensity, that energy he brings day in, day out, and he believes in us. He talks to us and tells us that he believes in us, and we're just excited to play for him.
A convincing win over the Broncos here at home where they had won 12 straight. What do you learn about your team in a win like this?
Man, we answer. We answer through adversity. We always answer. We say we want to kick the door down, change the culture, and that's what we're doing.
You guys handle what you need to as far as trying to clinch a playoff berth. Now you need a little bit of help. How much scoreboard watching do you do?
I mean, me personally, I'm more stay in the moment. I continue to attack my process. But for me, it's it'll be exciting to be in the playoffs. I haven't been in the playoffs since I've been in the league. It's exciting. I just want to experience that.
Congratulations, Parker. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
So Jacksonville goes to 11-4 in the season. They put up 34 on a really good Broncos defense. That's the most Denver has allowed all season. You heard Parker Washington talk about changing the culture. Liam Cohen, the job he has done with that team, they're hitting a high note right here in late December.
This was surprising for me.
Yeah.
I thought, Jaguars done a great job. Coach Trevor Lawrence. When I said they're going into Denver, a team that doesn't give up a lot of points, only 18 per game, right? And they made it look easy. They had a great offensive plan for them. Their defense played well. This is a big win for the Jaguars going into the playoffs. I mean, this is one of those wins that you say as a football team, we went on the road and beat the Denver Broncos.
Huge win.
Yes.
And meanwhile, for the Broncos, they had won 11 straight. They had won 12 straight at home. What was your big takeaway from this loss for them?
That I think the Broncos were a little bit in shock.
Okay.
That someone could come into their house and put up points like this. Because when you go to a game like this, you're a Denver fan, you're going to our defense, they'll bail us out. And this thing kept going, and their defense couldn't slow them down. Good check for the Broncos now. They'll regroup. They're a good football team. They might have needed this loss going into the playoffs because they're going to get into the playoffs. Probably win the division, to be quite honest. But this is kind of...
It's a battle for the 1 seed.
Yes,
that
it
is for
is.
sure. It sort of opens things up again.
Yes, and they already have their playoff booked, as you mentioned, but the battle for the 1 seed continues for the Denver Broncos. Now, for the Jaguars, they are scoreboard watching, particularly this game, because if the Texans lose, then the Jaguars are booked completely. They face the Raiders, CJ Stroud and company hosting Geno Smith and the Raiders. Early in the first quarter, no score, 3rd and 1 for the Raiders. Smith looking for Ashton Genty, intercepted, Coach.
This looked bad all of a sudden early in this game for the Raiders. You went, oh boy, this is not going to turn out good.
Texans take an early 7-0 lead, just under 10 minutes to go in the third. Raiders trail. 3rd and 6 for Vegas at their own 40. Smith looks deep downfield, connects with Genty.
How about that? All of a sudden, we got a football game here.
14-13, under 8 to go. Texans lead. They get another touchdown, so they're extending their lead in the fourth quarter with 7 and change to go. They go on to win the game 23-21. So a big win for the Texans. There were a lot of teams watching them saying, hey, we need you to lose so that we could book our own playoff tickets. Biggest takeaway for the Texans here.
That the Texans, this is one of those games they kind of took for granted. You're playing a Raider team that's been struggling to win football games. They're coming on the road, play at home. Sometimes you try to prevent this with your football team. Say, guys, get ready. These guys will play us. They woke up at the end and finally won a game. It doesn't matter how you win as long as you win, especially at this time of the year, because they become very important when you talk about playoff seeding.
Yeah, they play the Chargers on Saturday this week, so that's a really interesting game. After what the Chargers did to the Cowboys, so 2 hot teams going up against each other should be all sorts of fun. All right, let's get to Cleveland, the Bills.
Evening action coming to a head across the NFL as we say hello on this post-game hour of CBS Sports HQ presented by Trim Faya. This touchdown presented by Ashton Genty, 51 yards to the house, made it a 2-point game. Giving Houston a run for their money. The Texans having a hard time here. The pesky Las Vegas team that has the best odds to represent the first overall pick in the upcoming draft. Houston would skate by. A long one downfield to Nico Collins salts the clock. 23-21, the final score here as the Texans take care of business, continue their hot streak, although not the hottest performance. Back in studio with the fellas, Joe Musso pleased to be alongside CBS lead NFL insider Jonathan Jones, the 2-time champ Bryant McFadden, and future Hall of Famer Patrick Peterson. This was not the performance nor the final score maybe we expected in this one, but it is the outcome, Mac. 23-21, the Texans take care of business. We've talked about it all day long.
Yep.
No style points needed, but you are wanting to present your best here. What sort of effort did you see from Houston?
Well, I was a bit surprised to see some of the success we saw from the Raiders offensively against the Houston Texans, because as of late, Houston, they've been one of the more dominant defenses in the National Football League, even though they did put 7 points on the scoreboard with that Derek Stingley Jr. Interception return for a TD. But outside of that, we saw some issues in the running game, right? Ashton Genty had a career-like day, 128 yards, I think this is his best rushing effort in his rookie campaign, not to mention what he did in the receiving game as well, a 60-yard touchdown reception. So when you talk about Ashton Genty, and we've seen how bad it has been for the Raiders in running the football, something clicked for them in the running game against this outstanding Houston Texans defense, but they made the necessary plays. CJ Stroud made the necessary plays in the passing game for them to do what was most important, find a way to win, and they did. So shouts out to the Houston Texans, and I got to be encouraged from what I saw from the Raiders, because I felt like this was a team that was spiraling in the wrong direction, getting ready for the next upcoming draft.
Yeah, Raiders are a team right now that are looking towards not just the draft, but what they can move forward with, what those pieces might look like. Houston has far different designs right now, Pat, and similar to some of the other performances we've seen throughout the day, they sort of come up short of our expectation coming in, defensively specific, as B-Mac just spoke to. What did this team lack today that they usually have?
Probably running the football. The running the football today, they didn't have that effect running the football, and I believe that's some of the things that is able to help free up CJ Stroud. We saw that his numbers today was 23 of 35, 187 yards, but he made those necessary plays down the stretch to give their team an opportunity to win. But the bigger surprise was this is probably the first time that we didn't see the Houston defense be as dominant and have as much of a force in probably the last 6 weeks. If Derek Stingley don't get that pick six, who knows what the outcome of this game could be. So I know the Houston Texans, they lean on their defense. It's probably one of not their best performances. But moving forward, I know these guys are going to come out banging next week.
I mean, this is a Raiders team that could get blanked on any given week, and I think that we may have thought going up against the Houston Texans defense that they would. You know, you might say 2 fluky plays, right? I mean, Ashton Genty catches one for 60 yards and scores 6. He rushes one for 51 yards and gets 6, right? So you take away those 2 huge explosives that he really hasn't had this season, the Raiders haven't had. I'm okay with this Houston Texans defensive performance. They're still the best scoring defense in the entire NFL. And when you talk about scoring defense, one thing that's left out of scoring defenses is when the defense scores the football. And so that's something that the Houston Texans also do that should be figured into that, where I looked at CJ Stroud. He didn't have Woody Marks back there. He was inactive for this game. Jordan and Chubb combined for a little over 80 yards, and so you hope that you get Woody Marks back next week in a tough game. I think they're playing the Chargers this upcoming week. When they get healthy, there in the backfield, I think that's going to help C.J. Stroud. And the defense, of course, if you're going to take the football away and score points, that's always going to help.
Yeah, they did just get dinged late in this game with a big piece up front as well, something to keep an eye on. But this is a Houston team that defensively, we know they have enough. This is just one of a handful of teams this season to score 20-plus points on this Houston defense. The Las Vegas Raiders, they come up too short here as Houston tallies another W.